Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Master Heart family. It's just the most wonderful time for me, for most of us, all of us, most wonderful time of the week. We get to be with our spiritual family, where we just are. This is a safe place, if you will. There's no secrets, that we're all just here loving each other, supporting each other, and helping each other to our desires. And each one of you, the way you are leading with heart and sharing the good news that, I remember what Cash last week was your news on just an amazing thing you had done. In fact, do you have an update for us, Cash, on that?
Yeah, so she is still going strong. She's in bed. She's on oxygen. She has been the whole time, but she has full-on conversations. I mean, she rests. The other day we got her up. She was kind of shuffling around. I got her a protein smoothie. She's drinking that before she couldn't even eat anything, keep anything down. So she's eating stuff gradually, had some mashed potatoes, and it's
I
just
don't know what's
fantastic.
going on, but we're going to have to figure it out.
That's fantastic.
But at least it's not the cable to the boat.
Yeah. Hey guys, we can hear you talking there. I'm going to mute everybody.
I have to think about it.
And then when you want to talk, unmute that somebody was talking. Hey, Mike, how are you? Yeah, so this was just amazing. This is, a story. Cash prayed for this lady who was on her quote unquote deathbed. There is no death, there's eternal life. But she was going to transition from this world, and Cash prayed over her. And she remarkably, and then got with the family too, in their prayer together, that the mom is home now, and talking and up, and like Cash said, just gave her a smoothie. And so it's incredible on how powerful our thoughts are. And this is just an example of that. We can take people off their deathbed. We can also put ourselves right into hell or not, and all depending, or into heaven, depending on what we're doing. And in fact, that makes me think about Deborah's book, The Crystal Princess. And that's now available as an audio, the original audio, the conversation that Deborah and I had about her past, where her thoughts led her right into hell, and then took her right out of hell to the stairway to heaven. And Deborah, do you want to share anything about that? Or?
Hey, good to see everybody. Like, it's been a minute since I've seen, or actually maybe you've seen me without like milk spilled from the baby on me or dirty diapers. But anyways, I'm glad to be here. And yeah, right now we have a hurricane watch. So we have my husband down there is going a little crazy. Like he's I'm trying to figure out what to do and what to get. What do we need? And I'm just like, it's all good. Like,
just flow with it. I lived there for 30 years, and all is well. That we're greater than, we can literally turn hurricanes away. And so we have that power, or we can always be well. And so you just go in that, you might want to pick up some extra water or whatever, but everything's going to be fine. So you got another hurricane. This is Deborah's second hurricane. She wanted to move to Florida, and second one last about a year or so. And so tell us a little about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Princess.
And I think it's the superpowers that doesn't let me worry. I've been through it. I don't think that there's anything else that, when your life was a storm, like my life was a hurricane, a walking hurricane for so many years. So even when Nick asked me like, oh, since I lived in Florida for 18 years before, tell me about your experience, with hurricanes. And I don't really remember too much. I'm not going to lie. Because when I was living here, I don't know, I was in random places and things, but I got through, I got through it all. And I'm here today, 7.5 years sober. Most of you know my my journey with that, and I had such a honor of writing this book with Dr. Hank and really sharing my story from my heart and my soul. And it is transcribed in the book, because that shows my emotion, but we also have it on recording as well. And I really talk about my superpowers, right? And that's what we all have. We all have these superpowers, and you really got to think about it. I know deep down you can feel that there's something in you that you think about that is your power that you're really good at. And my journey of all of the darkness led me to utilize powers that I never knew I had, and one of those was tenacity. And tenacity, being tenacious. And I think, and that's honestly why I'm at where I'm at in my life and in my business. I use those same skills that I learned in recovery and going through those steps to get through anything. And so there's tenacity is one of them. The hustle. Got to have the hustle, right? And problem solving. Those are my three. Because if you have to figure out where you're going to eat or what you're going to do to get to survive, right? Even though at times I didn't want to, but I was fighting. There was that thing in me that was fighting for my life. And now I know what to fight for. And every single day I wake up and I'm just so grateful, to be here, because I've seen the other side, right? And when you see the other side, in anything, whether it's addiction or any other things in life, and you don't think you're going to ever get out, ever. You think you're just sinking in and nothing's going to happen. And who cares if it does, right? But then to wake up one day and have some angels come into your life and not even know that it was angels and say, hey, like, we're going to take you here, right? It was a leap. Something took me out of my mind, out of my body, and took me and brought me to a detox facility where I was in a wheelchair, couldn't walk, was like 80 pounds, like couldn't, they put me in a hospital for a couple of weeks. They kicked me out of the detox. They're like, you're too sick. So, but I still got through. I was wearing my big slippers. They remember me as this girl in her big slippers on a wheelchair. The slippers were amazing. They were really cute. They were pink, leopard, lots of fun. But I just kept kicking myself through, and I'm like, nobody's going to tell me what I can or cannot do. And that's just so important. Yeah. I think for all of us, like, nobody can. We know in our hearts and in our soul that we have the kingdom of God within us, and that we can do whatever. Nobody, not my sponsor couldn't tell me. They want to just put the fear of, if you don't show up to these meetings, you're gonna pick up again. If you don't go to, if you surround yourself with these people, you're gonna pick up again. If you don't do this, they just want to stir that fear in you, or the fear that you're powerless. But I don't think I'm powerless. I got superpowers, right? What is up with that? You're powerless? No, I don't want to be powerless. So I stopped going to AA. It helped me for a while, and I get it. It helps people. But for me, hearing that, it's just, now let's focus on what we know and what we want, and focus on the lighted path and that staircase, that we have of whatever your dreams are. I'm here to tell you, you can do it. You can do it. It doesn't matter where you are right now, this hot second, you can fly if you want to. You really can. So just do it.
Wow, that is so powerful, Deborah. And you mentioned so many things, and one of the things, like, on that, when you say hustle, that really what that is, and then us talking about that, I mean, kind of understanding this hustle, it's really leading, and it's leading with heart. And that is that, I'm just not going to listen to what other people think or say, or the should do's, or I'm gonna, the only opinion that I really want is God's opinion. And I know that if I feel good, that's my signal. And so for us to recognize we have this guidance system, and then I just love that you said about, yeah, in calling your angels, that angels are there, and they don't need, you just need to kind of call them, and so you were kind of like, hey, I really just want to be dead, but there was a part of you that was calling for help, and the angels came.
I was calling deep down. There was something in me that knew, I think, that there was a better way. My higher self, was there. And I think felt like deep down, like there's more. I just didn't know where to begin. I didn't know how to start a new life. I didn't know what that looked like. Was I going to be able to do it? So I needed a force to come and take me with them and kind of, fix some things, within me that were broken, and make me a whole new and better. But I was already this person, like I was already had it within me, and we all do. It's just sometimes we need to ask, without even realizing it, but for me, but call upon our team and our angels and all that is, and just ask.
Yeah, and for those of you that want the audio copy, those that have bought the book before, we've now included it in the book, the link, but I'll give you that link if you want the audio link. That will give it to you, and you can either ask Deborah or I. And for our Master Heart family, that it's our gift to you, and Deborah's gift to each one of you, because we love you. And you all just mean so much to us, and we're angels, and so you can call on us, each other, and whoever that is, wherever you're inspired, you get a thought, like Deborah said, she didn't know how to live, she didn't know what the next step was, and just ask, and can you post that link there, Deborah, if you are able to post that link, that we can post it right here on this, and then again, you guys can contact me or Deborah for that. But yeah, isn't it? She didn't know, but here's what it's asking, and you'll be guided to the next step. It's just the next step. So you want to increase your business? It's just the next step. Ask for the next step, and you'll be inspired to maybe call someone. You'll become a magnet where somebody will call you. But you just have to believe in this magic that there's God, that there's this loving, these loving archangels, these 7 archangels, and they're all out. I love when I ask for whatever, more business, whatever, more love, more peace, a better health. That when I ask, that I know that my angels are going and gathering up all my goodies. Don't you just love that? Knowing that you have this whole team that's going out and gathering up all your goodies. So that's beautiful, Deborah. And thank you so much for sharing that. And as you're slowly getting back into, how's Jaira doing? Is Jaira doing okay today?
Yeah, she's doing good. I think I am more worried about her. She's just living her life.
Well, the other day we were laughing that the baby, nobody gets sleep, right? When the newborn comes home, nobody gets sleep, and then it's kind of downhill from there. And I told her, hey, don't worry, the sleep isn't a big deal, whatever. And so now the baby is sleeping, but Deborah isn't.
Yes.
And so it's like, oh, what did we get ourselves into? Oh, I didn't get enough sleep. now that's our prayer. And God says, no problem. I'll make sure you don't get enough sleep, even when the baby's sleeping.
I was worried about the baby.
Right. Nothing to worry about.
For now we're good. I do that
Fine.
paraliminal overcoming.
Oh yeah. Overcoming overwhelm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been doing that every night now for the last weeks, and I don't wake up. So I was waking up with like kind of panic, anxiety attacks, like other, things going on. Some people didn't like the book too much.
Right.
And they decided not to have me part of it.
Yeah. And Deborah just brought up, some people don't like the book, and it's kind of interesting. The whole intent of the book is to give people help. That no matter where you are, in whatever dark place, whatever struggle, challenge that you have, that there's a way out, and that's the whole purpose of the book. And that some people didn't like it because of the way the grammar was. It was electronically transcribed from the audio, and why we're releasing the audio now. But we're not here to please the world. We're not here to have everybody like us. Okay. In fact, part of us being here is for some people not liking us, because that's the contrast. And so love it. And if somebody doesn't like, hey, that's great. And what did the contrast bring us? It brought us, hey, let's release the audio. And now this way people can really get into the emotion and understand on the challenge to the, from going down to hell to going up to heaven. And we get the choice that we can live in heaven right here or right now. And so that's beautiful, Deborah. Thank you.
Yeah. I was referring to the family in Boston.
Right. It's another family. It's all fine. It's all fine. They're providing excellent contrast for us. So love it. So other thoughts, comments? What's goodies going on? Who wants to share?
Yeah, that was really, really powerful, Deborah, and having some similarities in life and things like that. It's never that we were powerless or that we don't have power. It's just I didn't know where to grab, how to get an access with it and such, and in alignment with it, I guess. And even last week, I was down in the Panhandle doing some consulting with a guy. I go down there and travel for the week. And, whenever I go, I always put my plan together, and I know, who I'm, my contact list, and what days I'm going to do what things and everything else. And man, last week it all went to hell. And at first I was trying to bring it back on track, which is typical, right? We get off track and we try to bring it back on track. And then I was like, whatever it's going to be is what it's supposed to be. And I went through it, and it was more productive than if it had stayed on track with what I planned. And that's a lot of times what happens is what I construe to be success up here is so minimized compared to what's possible when I just get into that stream and just allow flow to happen, and it was really interesting to see that happen last week. And even the guy I'm consulting for and stuff called me a couple of times. He goes, man, this is a great week. Like, how productive. And I go, yeah. And I didn't tell him, my plan went to hell. But I just said, but it was. And even following up today and stuff. And it's exactly like that, man. I remember there was times, Dr. Hank, when we would talk and I'd be frustrated and you'd say, why don't you get in your truck and go to Chattanooga and go hang gliding? And I remember the one time, because you'd say it and I'd go, well, he doesn't really care. But I did it one time, and I went out there and I just set the glider up on top of the mountaintop, and I was waiting to go up, and my phone rang, and it was somebody out of the blue. I don't even know how they got my number, but they ended up signing up to work with me, and things like that. And so the more I lean into things like that, the more I feel good, the more I just allow, not decide the flow, but allow the flow to show up and show me where to go with it, that utilizing my two mental faculties, imagination and intuition, the easier it is. And when you said that, Deborah, there is effort to having the things we want to have, but it's so much freaking easier than when I'm going through the Antichrist and trying to figure out the strategy and the plan and everything else. And today, as time's going, I more and more watch that vision just play out for me in the movie screen in my third eye, and I just allow the actions to show up and take them. And I don't even, like, for a while, I would really guess at what the action was. Should I do this? Maybe I'm being led to do this. Maybe I don't do any of that now either. I'm just going forward. And when I get up, I get up. When I get coffee, and how the whole day flows is, I don't have a plan anymore for the day. I have a couple highlights of things I want to do, and I don't even fit those in. Going to the gym, exercising, playing pickleball, which is something I've been doing like 6 days a week now.
Yeah, great.
Is I don't plan to do them or set up the time. It just flows and everything fits in, and it's exactly the way it's supposed to be. And it's easier. The easier, softer way is this.
That's beautiful, Joey. And that flow. Last week we had Archangel Michael join us and release our fears. And then to get into this, and he talked about this river, this flow of life that we go in. And it's another way to look at that, walking with God, that, for us to allow it. And our committee, our lower self, our little chattering voice, wants to control it and tell you, hey, I should do this, I should do that. And what Joey described there is, that you just ask what you want, and then allow the flow to happen. You don't have to do the Father's work. We're done doing the Father's work. And it doesn't have to be any effort at all. In fact, forget that and have it fun. It's going to be playful. It's going to be fun. And when you ask for that, you don't have anything to be fun. So that's beautiful, Joey. Thank you so much. Love it. Other good news, other things to talk about? Who wants to share?
Hey, Doctor. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Robin.
Robin, you're on.
So I just want to clarify. So by allowing, that just simply means not resisting.
That's a good way of looking at it. That we have, when I share with you that we have 60,000 thoughts a day. Most people, 80% of those thoughts are resistant thoughts, which means our thoughts about lack and limitation and why I can't have what I want. So, for example, I wake up in the morning and I say, I want to have more business. And the first call I'm on, I get a no. And now I start having resistant thought, saying, oh, I can't believe people are no. Here I asked, and what the hell happened? Where is God in all this? He's abandoned me. A great book is Conversations with God. And Neil Diamond Walsh, I think his name is, that, he talks about that he was just fed up with his life. And he didn't have, he's saying, hey, I don't have a good job. I don't have enough money. And he comes home from this crappy job one day, and my God, he's been robbed. And everything in his house. He goes in the living room, all the furniture is gone, and the silverware and everything. And he goes to his bedroom, everything's gone. He goes to his bedroom, and everything is gone except for his clothes. Because his wife left him, and nothing was sold. And that was it. He said, I am just fed up with this. And he decided, I'm going to talk to God. And he said, God, where the hell have you been? Why don't you answer? And so God starts talking to him. And again, we can all talk these thoughts. When you got divine thoughts, it's God guiding you, giving you the ideas and the thoughts. And so the fact is that, so back to Robin's question, is this allowing that if I ask for more business and I get the contrast of a no in my example, that someone says no, that actually is there to build your energy on what you do want, because you've asked for so much and you want a long, happy, healthy, wealthy life. And to do that we need to build the energy. So God and the angels and all the loving energies of the world are there, of the universe, are there to be able to help you. And they say, okay, do the no, so that you can say, this is what I don't want. What do I want? And then that gets you fired up. Man, I want people to say yes. I want, people that are similar minded, that love, I love attracting people that want what I offer and pay for what I offer. And you just go into this rampage and you build all this energy. And then it'll all come to you. You become a magnet for it. And that's why we need to challenge it. So Deborah would have never known about her superpowers unless she had that contrast in her life, those things she didn't want. That Joey could have never known that, the way to really do this is not for me to figure it out, but for me to flow with it. And when I flow with it, God has a way better answer than we ever could have. And so it's like, how delightful is that? For this, for example, with us here, that I asked, what should we talk about today, part of today? And then I was told, oh, let's go. The next archangel kind of raised his hand, Raphael, and said, yeah, let's have Raphael in to increase our health. And I went, oh, that's great. And that just led me to, oh, yeah, it's the mental health, it's the emotional health, it's the physical health. Usually when we think health, it's physical, but actually there's the Trinity, the three of us, mind, body, and spirit. And our spirit is our emotions. And then all the rest of it is open. So I've been guided on what to do. And then I'm not like, hey, calling people and saying, hey, you got to talk about this, you got to talk about that, or whatever. Now, I did have an inspired thought, though, right before this. God gave me this inspired thought, hey, let's have Deborah talk about, the Crystal Princess, because she just released the audio version of it. And so it's like, when we just give it up, and this is not us being puppets. This is us. We identify what we want through the contrast, through us living this life, because you couldn't want more money if you didn't have enough money. Okay. And so you have to have this contrast in order, and we signed up for this in order to have a brighter future, to understand what we do want. And once we understand that, we just ask for it and then allow the Father to do it. And back to Robin, but I can't be disallowing it, having resistant thoughts, and waiting 5 minutes after I ask for a long, happy, healthy, wealthy life. And then I say, where's my stuff? Because that is doubt. Okay. Now I've doubted. And then, hey, your stuff, the moment that you ask for something, that signal through your emotions goes out to God, and God instantly receives it and answers it. It's already there for you. We just need to allow it and know that it's here. So I know that when I do that, and I love looking at it, thinking about it, that when I ask for something, all my angels are gathering up my goodies. They're gathering up the people, the thoughts, the circumstances, the situations that I could never, ever figure out. And it's just beautiful. And I'll give you an example of that yesterday I'm building a new home, a smart home for us. And so it has all this, good for, low electricity and good for the environment and, whatever. And so I had my little 3-year-old granddaughter there for the first time. And we've poured the slab, and just a little of the framing is up. And she walks in and she's holding her mom's hand and she starts to cry. And her mom says, what's wrong? And she goes, I just don't like Grandpa Hank living in such a messy, dirty place. And she thinks that I'm living there already, and that there's sawdust and wood, around there. And it's just like, oh, see the beauty. And then she looks at a piece of wood that looks like a pie, and she goes, look there's pie on the floor. And, so everything is beautiful. We took that and made it into the most memorable thing, because in everything is the wanted and the unwanted. I asked for big, happy surprises yesterday, as I do every day. And then that 3-year-old gave me that big, happy surprise. I want my heart to sing, and she melted my heart. She gave me the first thing she does, she walks up to me. We meet up at the house we're building, and she hands me this. This is her tree and her painting. And I know, Mia, you might want to help her a little with this painting. None of them are in the lines or anything. But what are the words that it says? It says kindness and goodness and peace and love. That's what the words that are printed on here that she was drawing. She runs up and she has it all folded and gives it to me because this is my present. It's the best present I could ever have. You know, it's just like, this is such a beautiful world. If we won't resist it, and back to Robin's question, we stop resisting it, because see, if I'm not open, if I'm not allowing, I don't see that 3-year-old girl with the blessing in it on that that she becomes so happy realizing I don't live there and that there's pies on the floor made of wood, that, you know, it just turns into a magical time. That if I were too busy worried about what they are with building and the, you know, how the wood is being used or whatever, I wouldn't notice that, you know, she's trying to give me this present. That the present moment is just that, it's the present. And people want to give you presents every moment. They want to say yes to you, but you have to be open to that. And how to be open? To ask for it and then allow it. Like Joey said, be in that stream. Like Archangel Michael said, just start flowing in that beautiful stream. And so, Robin, did that answer that?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Hank.
Okay, yeah. And I know it's a little, you know, on this allowing the step 4 after God has given it to us in energy form, we have to allow it in. And I call it ABE, allow, believe, and expect. But if I'm not allowing it, if I don't believe it, if I don't expect it, it can't come. We get to choose everything. What we want based on what we're thinking, and then what we actually get based on how are we allowing it? Are we believing it? Are we expecting it? And that's why, like the Crystal Princess book and Deborah, why that's an inspiration to the world. Because now we see, oh my God, we all possess superpowers. Nice. And it's with God that we co-create this. Isn't that beautiful? Other thoughts, comments?
When we're faced with challenges and obstacles, it's an opportunity for us to grow.
Yeah, yeah. And so to grow into what? And so I like to put a clear definition on that, because, you know, I'm not a tree per se. I mean, I'm going to be as high as I can. I'm 6'1", and, you know, I'm going to stay 6'1", so I'm not going to grow anymore. And so I like to put a little bit more clarity around it to make it easier. And so when we do have the challenges in our life, what I call contrasts, when we look at them as blessings that help us to identify, to ask what we do want. And so most people, when they have contrasts, a person says, no, the hurt, you know, elbow, that, whatever that is, the, you know, argument, the car accident, you know, the list is long on the contrast, that when we first just simply ask, because recognizing this is what I don't want. And how do you know? Because you feel bad. And so just go by your feelings. If I feel bad about something, I'm not thinking about this as God is. So when I have any challenge, Cash, that it is looking at this is what I don't want. And then the way that I grow is I ask, what do I want? And my growth is greater clarity on what I do want. Greater energy, excitement, enthusiasm about what I do want. And once you start rolling on that, and yeah, I just love having a long, happy, healthy, wealthy life. I love having more business. I love building deep, meaningful relationships like we all have with our spiritual family here, that when you go there, because see, we can only get it if we ask it. This is not a world of insertion where all of a sudden you win the lottery or whatever. Okay, that you win the lottery when you have the mental the thought on, wow, I love winning the lottery. I love having millions of dollars. The issue is we got so much resistant, disallowing thoughts that go there. Oh, one in millions. Well, why can't you be the one in the millions or whatever the case be? And so it's a beautiful world. And when we just look at all those challenges, it's a blessing. And I now ask, what do I want? Because this thing is for sure what I don't want. And I ask what I do want, and God will take you and give you the answers and the thoughts to build your energies and to be clear in your asking on what you're asking for. So is that good? Catch? Yeah. Good. All right. Well, with that, let's get healthy. Doggies. And so if you're driving, stop driving. Or listen to it later. Don't close your eyes for sure. And so remember with the archangels that God has, a man that has walked before us has asked for 7 main things. And so God has responded by giving us 7 archangels, and we call them archangels with wings and everything to kind of humanize it and kind of make us understand it more because we have a physical body. But what it is, it's this loving energies from God, and that there's these 7 separate energies. And the energy from Archangel Raphael is a beautiful green energy that gives us health. And so man that has walked before us, one of the main 7 things is, I want to have better health. And most of us think that, oh yeah, better health physically, but actually we all want better health first, mentally, because your conscious mind runs it all, starts everything, and whatever you're saying. So if you're saying, wow, I don't feel good, guess what? You got answers and said, no problem. I make you not feel good. And you say with a lot of emotion, oh, I'm really not feeling good today. Man, right away, you'll feel even worse. And so it all actually starts with the mind. And then it goes to our emotions. That's the energy, the signal that strikes us and goes to your body, but also goes to God. And so we want to increase the health of mentally, emotionally. And so our emotions, it's also called spirit. So mind, body, spirit. Our emotions, it's the practical, if you will, spirit. Like when people say, well, it's my spirit. Well, what is that? And actually is our emotions. And it's our communication system that we use to communicate with our higher power, and God and all that is. Also, our higher power communicates with our emotions. I feel bad, not the way God is thinking about it. I feel good, it is. And then we have our body. And so with that, let us become meek. And that means to quiet, to get out of the way, to be in an allowing state. And so I would invite all of us to close our eyes. It's easier to go within there and to breathe deep. And so let's all breathe in together. 5 seconds in. Oh, and as you release, just say at ease. 5 seconds out. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, just say to yourself, relax. Become very, very relaxed. Breathe in, breathing in the breath of God, and breathe out. And just become very comfortable. Quiet your mind now. Continue to breathe in deeply and breathe out. I'd like us to just relax now our forehead. Relax your jaw. Relax your eyes. Relax your neck and your shoulders. Just allow relaxation to run down your arms now. Relax your throat and your chest. Just moving down your body, relaxing all of your organs. Relaxing your gut, thighs, your knees, your calves, your ankles. Feeling so relaxed. Breathe in and breathe out. And as we are in this state of allowing now, this all-powerful state where we invite now Archangel Raphael into our experience, to our thoughts, into our emotions, into our bodies, every cell of our body. Archangel Raphael, we invite you in with your emerald green, beautiful light, and the energy, and emerald green angel dust that just falls upon us, and every pore in our body, every cell in our body. And then we call forth good health now and well-being to each of us. We know that when we ask and invoke you in, that you come. And we ask for you to be here with us now. And we ask for better mental health. Go into our mind now and clear our mind of any of the unwanted and inspire us to be thinking good, feeling thoughts, good, healthy thoughts, thoughts of what we want, thoughts of why we want it, beautiful, divine thoughts of us having a long and happy, healthy, and wealthy life. For us to have that healthy life with a healthy mind now, so clear, our memories are better, that we are thinking better now. We come up with just amazing answers and solutions to have an easy life, to have easy money, to have it all the things that we desire, to be able to think only of the wanted now. And we feel in your green energy and love upon our thoughts, in our thoughts, creating a healthy us in every way. Breathe in. And breathe out. And Archangel Raphael, we invite you and your emerald green energy to come into our emotions now, into our feelings. We ask that those painful things that we have felt, that you now turn them into what they really were, as blessings for us. Have us warm our hearts. Have us open up our hearts. Have us lead with heart. And have us enhance our feelings that we ask now, Archangel Raphael, to increase our emotions, our excitement about ourselves, about this world, about our desires, about our future, about right now in this present moment. So inspired by it, feeling so good. We ask to feel better now, We ask for better feelings in our health, for our health to be so, so divine, feeling so good, raising our feelings now up to where God is, and that is of joy. And for us to feel joy, for us to feel our hearts sing right now in this moment. Breathe in and just feel how good you are now. Oh, your heart singing. You feel so good walking at one with God. And it's all because you asked for it. And you have it now, feeling this joy, walking hand in hand with God, co-creating a masterpiece of a life. Your kingdom now prospers. And it feels so, so good. Breathe in. And breathe out, and just relax and allow those feelings, those good feelings, to penetrate your entire being now. Feeling so good, raising your vibration to that of God and your desires. Oh, thank you, Raphael, for bringing your emerald green light in, making us feel so good, making us at one with our higher power, with our inner being, and God Almighty. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We realize that this is what it's all about. It's this feeling to be at one with you. The perfect way is through the feeling. And we love this feeling of oneness with you, and now oneness with ourselves, and oneness with each other. Feel the oneness with us, that we are all seeking love, and we now have found it. It's within our feelings, and love is here now, and that we are just pure love, what we are made from. The image and likeness of God, pure love, and all of our hearts are connected, and we now connect with each other in the most meaningful, loving, and beautiful way, feeling so good, so connected, so happy, and so free. Ah, breathe in. Ah. Angel Raphael, we invite you now into our beautiful, magnificent bodies. These bodies that literally have trillions of things that are functioning together, playing together, and just happening and creating this amazing health, this physical health with us. We ask that you come into every cell now of our body, flow that angel dust into every pore of our bodies, creating youthfulness, creating good health. We just love being so healthy with all of our body parts, with all of our organs functioning so beautifully now. We've asked for health now physically, and health is upon us. It's upon us mentally, emotionally, physically. We feel that we see better now. We smell better now. We taste better now. We hear better now. We touch and sense throughout our bodies better now. We love the flow now that we are in the flow, in the stream of life, and walking at one with God, that now anything other than good health is gone, and only good health is present with us now. In our sixth sense, where we communicate back and forth, a two-way communication, connected and one with all that is. And we call you forth now in such a healthy, vibrant, beautiful way, where it's just a clear path of communication with us, of guidance to us, with our clarity being so precise now, knowing what we do want, and knowing, allowing it, believing in it, and expecting our good health to come to us mentally, emotionally, and now physically. We just love all the systems in our body. And we love our circulatory system in the way that our beautiful, loving, now open, fully open heart just pumps blood throughout our entire body. It knows exactly what to give to our body parts in order to make it function so beautifully. We love our respiratory system, where we breathe in deeply. It goes into our lungs and into our blood system, and we have that beautiful oxygen that just creates even more and better health for us. We feel just so light, light as a feather, light as an angel. We now feel all the archangels in that rainbow around us. And we are the light now, and we extend our light out to the world. And we go gather up all of our things, and we have become magnets now. We're so clear-minded, so healthy in our mind, in our emotions, that we take all of our energy, all of our beautiful, loving emotions, and they're all focused on what we want now. All feeling good, all calling forth our dreams into our experience now. And we love that we're more youthful now. We're more energized now. Oh, it feels so good. We just love this health that you bestow upon us now. And we give thanks that you have been here with us. And we love you, and we thank you for being with us and giving us this health. And so it is. Amen. And I invite you now back into the room and ask you to open up your eyes and welcome this beautiful life here. And it's the healthy life, the wealthy life, the happy life. And so it is. Yeah. So with that, how's everybody feeling? I feel good, and healthy. And so with that, let's do our sing-along. And we've invited our hearts in. We've invited our hearts in. Now it's time for our dreams to begin. Now it's time for our dreams to begin. We love our Master Heart family. We love our Master Heart family. As we now walk together merrily. As we now walk together merrily. Sound off our Master Heart family. 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 Yes.
I couldn't hear Deborah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Well, now you're off to the best week. You're healthy, you're energized, mental clarity, emotionally, you're going down the stream of all that is. And with that corridor of joy and all the doors of abundance now open wide for you. And I love you all. Have a great week. And know that it's only going to get better from here on.
Thank you, Dr. Hank.
Love you, Dr. Hank.
Love you guys.